My dearest INFJ entrepreneurs, welcome back to another video. I have written a content piece about the fact that there are some boxes in our life that hold the truth that we want to see. And I'm sure that you have heard about the Schrodinger's cat. It's an analogy in which you don't know if the cat is alive until you open the box of Schrodinger. And it's basically an analogy of until you don't open the box, two realities can coexist at the same time, meaning that if I don't open the box, I don't know if the cat is dead or alive. I don't know if the answer is yes or no. And that limbo of I don't know if it's a yes or no can be something that we spend our entire lifetime just looking at instead of opening the box. So how this looks like in actuality is sometimes we like to just sit with our potential and think, oh, we have so much potential, and we can be super happy about the fact that we believe that we have so much potential, and then one day we will tap into the potential. We are such visionaries, so we can also feel like, this is gonna be so good, like one day I'll get there. And we can see that vision so clearly and tap into this land of fantasy where I have so much untapped potential and I see that in my clear vision. But I like that more than to actually figure out what I'm made of. And I think to me, the past 3 years has been a little bit of a cocooning phase in which I have finally experienced a level of success in my business in terms of revenue that I felt like, okay, this is good. Like now I finally have more freedom to explore, to travel, to experience life and wake up in my own terms. And I know that some of us, we're not even there. Some of us, we are still building towards it. But because I was finally experiencing that, I also fell into this predictable, comfortable place. I felt like I have been in survival mode for so long that I just deserve to, for once, inhale and come up for air and just exist in a state of predictable, comfortable, and cocoon a little bit. And it's not like I didn't do anything, because you guys have seen videos coming through, episodes coming through, hangouts being organized. It's just that I have operated in a more of a comfort zone scenario. So I was dialing back on things that terrified me, and I was doing more comfortable things, and I was doing them more consistently instead of stretching that a little bit further. And so I finally come out of and emerged out of okay, that was fun and I loved that, being in that comfortable zone. But now I'm ready to see and open the box here and see what's in the box. And I think if many times we are in this state of, okay, I wonder what would that be like if I made that action, if I put myself out there, if I pursued a thing that I wanted to do, or even if I just showed up in more like an intentional, brave way. Like, can I just live my life and wanting to figure out what I'm really made of? Or am I going to spend my entire life wondering if the box, once I open it, what would it be? And I think my invitation to you is the following. Can you start opening more of the boxes and see what's in them for you, instead of fearing them and letting that terror holding you back and wondering what's if? Because I think there is such comfort in the limbo phase, in the I don't know phase, in the in-betweens of, well, I haven't tried myself yet. I haven't tried that part of myself yet, but I'm like sitting on the whether or not I can potential, and that gives me almost like I have a power over it, instead of testing it, battle testing it, and seeing what you're made of. And yes, there is more risk in seeing what you're made of land, but there is also more growth, and there is also more self-discovery, there's also more courage, there's also more beauty, there is also more pain. And every time I faced something that I can only describe as terror, like truly Like, I thought that it's gonna be a silly example, but I had a health scare and I've been procrastinating to look behind it for a long time. And I remember through the process of, okay, I'm opening this box, like I don't care anymore, like I'm done fearing this thing, like I'm ready to face it. And once I did that and I went through it, I shocked myself. It's like I came back from the death, not like actually, but I came back from the terror, and it no longer had power over me because I lived it. I went through it, and I actually not only survived, but I was quite okay. And sometimes that can be something personal to you. And in my post, I even mentioned that there are people that are in relationships where they don't want to ask the hard questions, to avoid the truth, to confront the reality. And I believe that, again, this box of not opening the truth or not facing reality, it's everywhere, it's reoccurring, it's all over the place for all of us all the time. And I guess my invitation is to see whether or not you're willing to be brave enough to open a box. What I have realized is that, and this is the good news, once we confront reality, we can actually build on that. Because now we know what we don't know. Now we know what we don't know. And before we didn't know what we don't know. So there was no invitation to expand, because you didn't know what you don't know until you face the reality. And then you are able to change it and build on it. And I think there's this book called 10 Why We Change and 10 Reasons We Don't. And one of them is being not able to look at the reality for what is and building from that. That's why in anonymous alcoholics groups, they start saying, hi, my name is this and I'm an alcoholic, right? So that's how they start the meetings. And the reason why they do that is simply because it's a way for them to acknowledge where they're at and build from there. So it's a self-reflective practice to acknowledge, okay, let me see what's in that box. Let me go through it and see if I can come out of it better, stronger, more confident, and more courageous. At least I can say that I was not dancing around the box, but I was willing to open it. And the more you do it, and in any area of your life, whether it's business, relationships, health, friendships, like these boxes are everywhere. It's like you're tripping over them. Some of us, we are literally tripping over our boxes, like I'm not opening this one, I'm not opening that one, I'm not opening, there's too much pain, there's too much fear, I'm not touching, and we are like in a room filled of boxes, and we're like, nope, we're trying to tiptoe around them instead of looking inside of them. Believe me, I know people who live their entire life not even wanting to open any box. They are just like almost like surfing, hovering through life and just floating through life without ever stopping to open a box to see what's in there. I don't want us to be that way. I want us to be brave enough to open the boxes, to look inside, to see where we need to grow, so that we can change the outcome, our fates, so that we can become the people who are not afraid of looking inside the boxes. Because once we do that more and more and more, we become more confident in our abilities to withstand whatever life throws in our way. Because we know that just by opening a box, it not only didn't kill us, but it helps us unlock the next level and next version of ourselves. I know this video has become a little bit of motivational and not very tangible, but if there in your life there are boxes that you were procrastinating on looking at, opening, I want to invite you to see what's in there, and maybe pick a box for your business and think about, okay, what is a box that I have been terrified of even looking into. Start from there. Pick a box for your health. What is some box here that I'm being terrified to look at? It can be a health check, an exam, something you've been putting off. And pick one for your relationships. What are some boxes, or at least one? What is one box in my current relationships, whether it's romantic or friendships or even your relationship with your family, that you weren't unwilling to look at because it was just too painful? Start opening the boxes and watch the truth and how it will change your life and form you, morph you into a more resilient, brave person. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this one. Don't forget to join our group if you're not already. Link in the description as always. And don't forget, courage over fear, progress over perfection. Bye.